in this country, we have a problem with ignoring poor people in general. And you have to be able to have the discussion without it devolving into a racial discussion that people then go to their corners and then we can't have the discussion. I grew up in Compton in the 90s, which was probably one of the worst times. I want to say somewhere around 8 or 9. I was walking to my friend's house. He lived at the end of the block. I lived at the other end of the block. We bookended the block and we would play Nintendo at each other's house because it just come out. And I was walking down the street to his house. This gray car goes driving slowly down the block, goes past me. There were a large group of people standing outside on the corner, and out of this car, from like every window, including the sunroof, people, black masks, all black clothing, assault rifles just mowed down the crowd. And I stood there just watching it happen because I had never seen anything like that before in my life. My mom came running outside when she realized I was gone, like screaming my name. Then she was like mad at me for like a second for being gone and making her panic, but she was so happy that I was okay because the house that they shot up was directly opposite of the house I was going to. Once I grew up and kind of moved away, went to college and everything, I really saw, holy hell, like I was living in a war zone. Crack and marijuana, drug, like all that stuff was probably what really fueled most of that. You'd see needles all on the ground all the time. I'd bullet casings outside in front of our house. And policing in the time in the 90s was very much a reactive, just arrest anyone who looks remotely suspicious. And that kind of policing didn't help at all. It only fueled the problem. You wonder, why do people burn down their own cities? Well, it's because they don't feel like the city belongs to them. I mean, you see it in Baltimore, you see it in St. Louis, you see it in parts of Ohio, you see it all through the South. These cities don't have what they need to get people up and out and on their own. So they spend so many years depending on the government and needing help, because you can only deal with that for so long before you just go, fuck it. Why shouldn't I be a criminal? You want me to do this. I might get more food or care if I'm in prison. Why not? It took a while, but people finally came along who were ready to see Compton change. It's so much better than when I was growing up. Kids can play outside, and that's a big difference. If you want to talk about what's going on in Baltimore and Compton and places like that, those are communities of primarily black and brown people. So you have to address the issues of those people. In the land of the free and the American dream, it's only for certain people.